Hi everyone, this is Alethea Cox, and I want to talk to you about the elements to be successful as a coach. There's just a couple of steps with that. The first thing is you have to have a goal, and I know most of you have already heard you have to have a goal, but I want you to think about what that goal is. You have to understand on a goal what your end outcome is. So being able to articulate that, share that with your family, be able to write that down is so, so important. And sometimes a goal has to have me in it. It has to have a sensation or a feeling of what that value of attaining that goal actually is going to be once you're able to achieve it. So making sure that you have a goal that is a tangible goal, meaning one that you can actually see for yourself, and living in that dream or that goal state right before you even start action and activity is going to be crucial for success. The second thing that you need to have is plan. You need to have a plan to create that success. Now, it's the plan that turns that dream into a goal. And so you have to have a plan for success. And you know how that is. It's like taking from the final destination of your goal and working it backwards to where you're at today. And then also knowing that over the course of time, that the activities that you do today are progressive to get you to that goal. So you work your plan backwards so that you know exactly what you have to do so that it makes tiny baby steps to get you to that final destination. Make sure that in those two pieces that it's strong, it's solid, and it's solidified. So goals are measured and they have timelines on them and they're shared with others. So make sure that you have all of those elements in the goal setting process and the planning process of that. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is a discipline. See, what happens is we get real excited about being able to have a goal. We put a plan together, but then maybe we don't have the discipline behind it. I know I was talking to my husband the other day, and we were talking about an individual that's very, very successful in their profession. But when you talk to them, you think, man, they just don't have the depth in so many areas, such as being an entrepreneur or they're not real resourceful. But one of the things we talked about is that this individual knows how to do customer service and they know how to relate to people really, really well. And in that industry, that's all they really have to do. They don't have to have like an understanding of return on investment, all these crazy big things. They just need to know how to treat a customer so that they can be successful with that. So they have a discipline that is small that allows them to create the success within the mechanism they're in. So make sure that you are also taking into considerations of your own strengths and weaknesses. If a discipline is difficult for you, then you got to make sure that that goal is strong enough to keep you on track for that. And that discipline might be getting a calendar out, scheduling your time, making sure that you're staying to those baby steps and hitting those time frames that you've set aside. So it's a goal, it's a plan, it's a discipline. The next thing is consistency. You have to do it long enough to be able to create the results, and you have to do it long enough to get to the end of the goal. So what you need to know is that you're not gonna quit. You need to do this clear to the end. Okay, it's like when I do a marathon. The finish line isn't a finish line until you're at the finish line. Okay, so it doesn't matter how painful it is, it doesn't matter how slow you're going, it doesn't matter what time of day it is, you're not across that finish line until you're across that finish line. Now I can create a discipline by putting one foot in front of me, and I can continue to stay consistent. I just may not be at the same speed or the pace, but it's destination that you have to get to. So making sure that you have created enough consistency over a period of time to get to the end result. The last thing I want to talk about, especially being female, okay? And I know a lot of guys and males in this situation have to listen to this too. But really particularly, I want to speak to the women. One, because I am one, and for the most part, I've mentored many, many women into success. And that is, you have to have planned neglect, okay? I call it planned neglect. That means that you're going to have sacrifices that come to play, and you've got to be okay with those sacrifices. So if my laundry's not done every week, folded and put away, and it sits on the laundry room counter, and my kids and my family have to go to the laundry room counter to get it, but I'm working towards my goal. My goal is more important than getting those clothes back in the drawer. Now they're clean, but I didn't finish my job that I think I have to have. So I create the opportunity to have planned neglect. Now, believe it or not, my family unfortunately has to eat different types of meals sometimes because I may be pushing my timeline. I may be having a 48-hour follow-up with a customer or a coach, and I really want to give them my time. My family knows what our goals are and what our final destination is. We're all in it together, so I've shared it with them. And my meal that night may not have been the pot roast potatoes and carrots because I didn't get them on. It may be something a little bit more simpler, equally as nutritious, but I'm creating those planned neglects, okay? Part of those planned neglects might be giving up a TV series or some of the obvious stuff. I know an individual that gave up baseball, loved baseball, gave up baseball for a couple of years, brought his wife home, brought himself home, and has a magical life right now today. So make sure that through this process, you're giving yourself an opportunity to have planned neglect. Now, planned neglect is not guilty, okay? That means that you cannot do these things and still be okay with them. And if you find yourself trying to get to your goal and you're trying to compromise all the time, you need to have a conversation with your family and you need to give yourself freedom to have that planned neglect without guilt. That is so that you can remain focused on your goal moving forward. With that being said, I hope these tips are helpful for you, and I would love to help you further. You can always find me on Instagram, Facebook, follow my channel here because we're going to the top. Take care and talk to you soon.